Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another video guide for Ark Valguero. Today in this video, folks, I'm going to be showing you how to get the artifact of the strong, the immune, and the pack. Now, this is not a showcase video. This is a full guide. So just to give you guys a heads up, that means it will be a full-length video. This video is also sponsored by Yumitune, which is a monthly subscription box from Japan full of all sorts of goodies and cute things with regards to Japanese anime and stuff like that. So if you guys want to check that out, you can always use the sponsored links down below. You can find these in the video's description as well as in a pinned comment. Also, if you guys enjoy this video, please don't forget to support me on the channel by hitting that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. And if you have just subscribed, don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos and content to the channel. Also, for those interested, you can always find me on the Sethum Discord. Links to this you can find down below in the video's description as well as in a pinned comment from myself. So, as I was saying at the beginning of this video, this is a full and complete guide in which I'll show you the locations of all three artifacts. They are all located in one cave. This is meant to be more of an end game sort of thing, so of course that will require preparation. I will of course also show you how to do it most effectively in that you won't require a lot of resources. So with that being said and done, you want to start from this location. This cave is pretty well hidden. Here is the map and the GPS coordinates, and behind me you can see that there are those two cliffs that are crisscross. So you want to kind of start from there. We want the bigger lake to our left, and then we'll want the forest to our right when we start moving. So as you can see, this is what I'm taking with me. I am all Ascendant Flak, or most Ascendant Flak. We've got some ammunition for a fabricated sniper rifle, grapple hooks, food, some healing brews or medical brews, and of course you'll want a shield. Now I'm using a riot shield because I can see what is going on through it. You can use whatever shield you want. You do want a high quality shield. As I was saying, we're going to start making our way towards the cave. So we're going to go towards these crisscrossed cliffs, for lack of better words. I don't really know how to call these. And we want this giant lake to our left, and we should see some sort of a mountain. We're going to follow that, and that means of course the forest will be to our right. So let's go and do that. We'll follow it for a little bit. I'm going to try and get some height here so you guys can see the environment. In front of us is the little mountainy area. There's a little lake to our right as well. So we're just going to follow this all the way to pretty much the end, and from this point forth we will at one point take a slight right. So you can see a little lake there. Around that lake we're going to go slightly to the right, not too much, and we should start seeing a crack in the ground with all sorts of spider webs. That is where we want to be. There we go, that's the one. Now down there you will also find a Broodmother. What I have noticed with regards to the Broodmother is if you aggro it and move it around a tad bit by aggroing it, obviously be careful not to get hit, and then flying out of render distance and fly back in, it tends to despawn. That is a very interesting mechanic, a mechanic of course that you can use to your advantage. Do bear in mind that of course this can change at any given time. Now as you saw, I have set up a base around here. Obviously I have done some testing, so this is what this looks like. I'm going to show you the exit or entrance. This is the entrance into this little crack area right here, and you will see that there will be no Broodmother. That's because I have aggroed it and flown away before I started this video. As I said, and I will repeat it, this is the way it works currently. Things can of course change. So this is the path you want to take, and in front of us is of course the cave. We'll want to go in there. In the cave you will find arthropluras, you will find leeches, you will find spiders and meganuras. Obviously all of them will be of a high level, so do bear that in mind. You need to come prepared. I also have a wingsuit, and I also have a zipline motor attached to my armor, and that is because I want to show you something later on. Obviously I'm trying to give you as many options of doing this as possible. Of course you could try and take in a tamed dino. I would probably recommend something along the lines of a Daedon. They do have that ability to heal. You can ride it. However, do bear in mind the Meganuras can, of course, target the player. You also have the Ark Valguero, which, of course, can target the player and will pretty much melt your armor. So, obviously, this is the way I like to do this, and some people may disagree. This is just one of many ways of doing it. You can also grapple here. Do bear in mind when you do build a base around this area that there is a limitation to where you can build. Obviously, below where I've built my base, let's call it for lack of better words, there is a cave, and so in caves building is not allowed. So that is totally a thing. As you can see, some spiders have made their way out. I'm just gonna kind of kill them. These are sort of small levels, as you can see, nothing too threatening. However, when you go deeper inside, they do get to ridiculous levels. That's because these spiders out here, I think, are still classed as being outside of the cave. So don't get fooled by that. These are just the little ants that come with the Broodmother. So let's go into the base. I'm going to show you my method. Some of you may know, obviously the ones that have followed my channel for a while will know of this method because I have used it for many artifacts. It is for me the simplest and most efficient way of doing it. It does not cost a lot of resources, but it does still take time. Do of course bear in mind, as I said, this is one of the more harder caves, therefore it does require preparation, and you can see already the method that I'm going to use. Now do bear in mind that these dimorphodons, which I will use, have been spawned in. They have of course been tamed at level 150. They have not been leveled up either, so there are a couple of things that we need to go through. First things first, you want to have anywhere between 10 to 12 dimorphodons. You want them to be, if possible, level 150. You do also want to level them up. I do suggest having anywhere in between I'd say 1200, so that would be 1200 HP on the dimorphodons, to maybe 1500 HP, and everything else in damage. You don't want to have too many of these things because they can get in the way of doing this cave. Obviously people may not necessarily want to tame this, but this is the best way of doing it, and you will see later on why. It does get quite tricky inside. Of course, you don't just have to tame them. You can, of course, once you've got a pair of dimorphodons, you can breed those up and hatch the eggs, feed them up. They don't really take that much of your time. And also, I do suggest that you either have some spare eggs from your dimorphodons or some spare dimorphodons back at your base, as there is a risk of losing a few. So here we are, ready to go. I've just done the final checks. Now there are 2-3 ways you can get down. You can use zip lines, you can use grappling picks, climbing picks is what I meant to say, or you can glide down as well. You can also use grappling hooks, but it is a bit tricky. If the grappling hooks do break, you will most likely fall to your death. So do keep that in mind. We're going to get down there. Once I'm down there, I'm going to show you the coordinates for this location. Now obviously, with this particular run, there is no Broodmother, so I will record that separately because I want to show you the Broodmother as well. As you can see, some dinos have fallen down. In case you do come down here, you might come across something possibly hostile, so do be careful how you make your way down here. Getting back up, you can use grappling hooks, and I do suggest grappling hooks as it is the quickest way of getting out. You do not know where the Broodmother is going to be, so upon exit, be very cautious and think it through. You want to get out as quick as possible if the Broodmother has respawned. So I'm just going to be careful as to how I glide my way down. There we go, perfect. Now once you come down here, you might come across some spiders at the entrance of the cave. Just be prepared for it. Now I've got my dimorphodons to attack my target, that is the setting, and here are the coordinates for this particular location. This is where the entrance of the cave is, so you can see that on the map and of course on the GPS. So I'm going to make my way down there. I'm going to show you where the Broodmother tends to be, unless she has been aggroed or wandered around for quite a while. I have noticed that she has quite a decent aggro range. So there she is, right in between my map and GPS. So for example, I have managed to aggro the Broodmother whilst being inside my base. So do keep that in mind. You don't want to come out of this cave too far when you exit, as you will aggro, and obviously this is a boss, therefore will do a significant amount of damage. Okay, so with all of that out of the way, let's get into it. As you can see at the entrance, nothing too dangerous. Do bear in mind, as I said, these Dimorphodons have not been leveled up, and you will want to have your Dimorphodons leveled up, as it will make a difference. If they have more HP, they will be able to take more damage before they die, and obviously if they dish out more damage, they will kill things quicker. So it's just that simple. So the spiders aren't all that special, but as we go deeper into the cave, it does get significantly more difficult. Now, whilst I do have a fabricated sniper rifle, yes, it is Ascendant, you will see that I don't really actually need it. I only have it with me as a form of backup. The shield that I'm using is just a ramshackle shield, so it's nothing all that special. You can use other forms of shield, but obviously this is a video, so I do want to show you what is going on. Now, first point of reference, remember we're going down here, we should see a center column. So we want to remember this because it can get quite tricky to find your way around this cave. There are many areas that look very similar, and you can end up spinning in circles for hours. So as you can see, my Dimorphodons have started doing their thing. They are attacking pretty much everything. You want to be careful for the Mega Neuras. Now, these things will normally attack you if you are mounted. They do tend to target the players, which is why I kind of like going in with the Dimorphodons. Also, very important to know, I have also not disabled the harvesting on my Dimorphodons. Now, that is because they will harvest, which means they will get meat, and therefore they will use the meat to heal. Do not forget, the Dimorphodons still don't have all that much HP, and whilst they don't have a lot of HP, if you do take a short break, it will allow them time to heal, so that's quite important. Also, if you want to get chitin, this is also a good place to come. This is also a good way of getting it as well. So I'm just going to keep my shield up. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to let my Dimorphodons do the things. The dangerous ones in here, as you can see, are the Arthropluras. They dish out a lot of damage. They do splash damage, meaning they hit multiple Dimorphodons. But that's why you want to have them in a pack. So we're not going to go down that side. So we're not going to the left. We're going to stick to the right side. They pretty much just go around the column, but that is good to remember. That is pretty much a dead end. I'm only sticking my head in there just in case there is something still trying to make its way to me. So the next point of reference is this thing right here. There is this hole with the pillar in between them, and behind us, if we look, we've got that tree column, we've got the column of stone, and then we have the ramp that goes up. So this is how we're going to remember it. When we come this way, we can see the ramp going up. That's where we want to go. Now, you can walk through this with the Dimorphodons. I will, of course, crouch for the purposes of trying to keep the Dimorphodons close to me, and hopefully they won't get stuck in anything. Also, don't forget to constantly check on the health of your Dimorphodons. And as I said, in my case, as you can see, they're all 150 perfect tames. I'm just having a look. Also, you want to keep an eye on the weight in their inventory. You may need to, of course, empty out their inventory from time to time. This way, it can take a bit of time to do. I think it is the easiest way as well to do. And this is where things start to get interesting. Now, as you can see, there is a bit of water. It ain't that deep, but you will see that in some of these pools, there will be leeches. There we go. And there's a lot of leeches as well. So I'm just going to keep my shield up. They shouldn't latch onto me. You'll also notice that there are the orange leeches that, of course, apply disease. So do keep that in mind. As you can see, there's a lot of bad stuff. So come in here trying to blast them away with a shotgun or whatever weapon is not going to be a fun time at all. However, the Dimorphodons do the trick. Now I can already see that one is heavy because it's not moving anymore. That means I'll have to empty out its inventory. This guy right here is over encumbered. Also, at this point, you want to look at your Dimorphodons. As you can see, this one has leeches on it. So you want to remove the leeches because the leeches will, of course, drain the Dimorphodon's health. And that is not a good thing because, of course, they don't have that much health. Also, you can get leech blood, which is good for many recipes in this game. And as you will see, I will focus primarily on damage, then health. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, everything's been emptied out. They all have their empty inventory. They've had enough time to heal as well. And so we're ready to carry on. I don't think I removed all of the leeches, but that doesn't matter. You do want to take time to do that in your case. This is just for illustration purposes, and I do want to try and keep this as short as possible. There is a lot of bad stuff to fight, and as you can see, the levels of the creatures are pretty darn high, even on the ants and all the other stuff. So once you get deeper in, they just get really high. So that means, yeah, there we go. We got another spider that crept out from somewhere. There we go. So just keep an eye on the levels of the creatures that my Dimorphodons take out. Oh, there we go. Just look at that. That would not have been a fun time without a shield. Okay, I guess you came as well. So as I make my way deeper into the cave, I will point out specific reference points that I use to kind of get my bearings in this cave and know where I am located. There we go, shield up. Now sometimes the Meganuras will not necessarily be aggroed. Often they will be, so keep that in mind as well. They do seem to aggro around carcasses, and I'm not quite sure exactly how it happens, if Dimorphodons tap them, if they aggro that way, or if they just aggro as a mechanic. Because I've noticed that not all of them do tend to aggro, so I'm just making sure that their health is pretty okay, and so is their weight. Now we're coming to this section of this cave. We can start seeing some cobwebs. Do keep that in mind because that will be a reference point. So I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Now at this point we have two ways to go. There's that tree stump in the center. There's that way, and then there's this way. So I'm going to go down this way. This is the shortest one to do. We will have to do some swimming. There might be some stuff we have to fight sometimes. It really depends on how it wanders, but generally it tends to be quite clear. Yeah, okay, we've got some stuff to fight. There shouldn't be all that much. Okay, so he's derping out. I'm going to try and reposition myself so that the Titan Boa hits me, or hits the shield at least. I can also tell you that the shield hasn't taken all that much damage, so one shield seems to do the trick. Okay, I was going to say that the Meganuras weren't aggroed, but they seem to have aggroed. So I'm just kind of trying to keep these guys in front of me. I will back away slowly. I don't want to get hit from behind. Okay. See, things seem to have worked out quite well. Alright, we got some more spiders ahead. And soon we will come to a pool of water that we'll have to swim through. Now, you don't need anything specific. It isn't that long. You don't need to invest any points in stats with regards to oxygen or movement speed. You can do it with what the game gives you, so don't waste your points on that. If you do want, you can bring a pair of flippers with you. I'm just having a look at what my Dimorphs are doing. Okay, this guy's pretty encumbered, so I'll start leveling these guys up here a bit, dropping off all the stuff that we don't want. Oh, there's something here. There we go. So when they derp out like this, just kind of move around until the Titan Boa hits either you or one of the Dimorphs. Okay, so I'll catch you guys in a bit once I've emptied their inventories. There we are. Everything's ready to go. And I've emptied out their inventories. I've leveled them up. They now have had quite a few points in their damage, so that should do quite well. So there is a slight slope that we have to go up before we get to the little area that we need to do the swimming. Also, the other way you know that you're going in the right direction at this point or down this corridor of the cave is if you're having to fight stuff, that means you've not been there. Obviously, we will be taking breaks, or you will be taking breaks with this particular method, and that's one way of knowing. Also, you'll know that you are in the wrong way if you end up in the chamber with 3 doors or 3 exits and the pillar in the center. Remember where that tree was as a pillar in the center, the way we came in has cobwebs, so that will also be our exit. So also do keep that in mind. When we do come out, we'll look for the tree stump in the center of the room with 3 exits, and the exit will be the one that has the cobwebs on them, or the spider webs, depending on where you live in the world. I'm going to kill this Titan boa. Although it was stuck there, I don't want it surprising me at any given point in time. As you can see, these Meganeurs have not been aggroed, so I'm not quite sure how the aggro mechanics works, to be fairly honest. And we should come to the point where we need to swim. There we go, we're nearly there. Okay, there we go. As you can see, we can see the reflection of the water. At this point, we do need to swim. So I'm just going to make sure all of my dimorphs are here. I am going to set them to unfollow. As you can see, I've not really taken too much care to remove the leeches. And so therefore, this dimorph is nearly dead. But it should have enough time for its health to regen while I go and get the artifact. This will be, of course, the first artifact that we're going to get, and it will be the artifact of the pack. Okay, let's look at my oxygen level. It's not dropping, so I must have forgotten to disable infinite stats. However, with or without infinite stats, it wouldn't have made much of a difference. I will disable them once I get to the other end, and you'll see that really it did not impact the video. I will not have taken damage or anything, and you've got plenty of oxygen to get through this pool of water. In front of us is, of course, the artifact of the pack, so go and pick it up. There's nothing bad in here, so no need to worry. Obviously, this is with the current build of this game and map. Things are liable to change. Do keep that in mind. Pick up the artifact, then make your way back out. As you saw there, I did disable infinite stats, and you should see how much oxygen I use to get through this portion of water. Obviously, it will get quite close. I do warn you that. And so there's no time to waste. What I would recommend, if you really want to, you can bring a pair of flippers that will increase your swim speed. But we can already see the glare and shine from the exit, and we still have enough oxygen left. With that being said and done, I will get my dimorphs to follow me, and we're going to continue to the next portion of the cave. In that portion, there will be 2 artifacts, and of course those will be the artifact of the strong and the artifact of the immune. Alright, just being careful not to aggro these things. I really don't want to fight anything unnecessary. Remember, that's where we fought that Titan boa, so that does always throw me off. We've got the tree stump in the center of this room, so we're going to go around it. We're going to follow the cave to the left, and we should come to the room with another tree stump and 3 potential exits. So in front of us, you can see cobwebs. That is, of course, the exit. So we're going to go to the right at this point. So let me kind of try and find a position. So right this way is where we came in initially. Cobwebs means exit. And then this is the way we're going to go. This is the way we went. In the center, there is a tree stump. that is kind of like a pillar. So I'm going to try and position myself. This I don't really want to use adamant cheese to show you, but as you can see, there's that tree stump. There's the path with the cobwebs covering it. That's where we go out when we're finished. And then obviously we're going to go down this way to get the artifact. So this is a very important thing, because around here you can end up going around in circle, and I spent a lot of time going around in circles in this area. So we're going to come to this area. Do be careful here. There is a drop, and it is a significant drop. We want to go towards that crack in front of us, and I'm going to use grappling hooks to do this. You can use, of course, other means of doing it, but I prefer the grapples to anything else. So try and aim for that portion right there. I'm going to reel myself in. I'm going to keep the dimorphs on follow, although you probably don't have to if you don't want to. Just do bear in mind, they do tend to land randomly, and you may end up with them at the bottom of the crack. It doesn't matter, because we'll need to go that way anyways. But again, water. So do not touch the water. We're going to try and avoid aggroing the leeches. There is sometimes leeches in this area, so we don't want any of that. Here's the artifact of the strong. And so let's carry on with the next one. Okay. Also, when you are jumping over the water, make sure that you don't have any dimorphs in your way. If you do, just back up and then get a running start. The artifacts do respawn in quite quickly, so that's a positive thing to know if you're going in as a group. So now we want to go down there. We want to go towards those glowy mushrooms or orange mushrooms. There is, of course, there another crack in the wall, and that's the way we're going to go to get the artifact of the immune. Now, there are several ways you can do this. You can use the zip lines, you can use the glider suit, or you can try and use the grapples. Grapples are a bit tricky, especially with the dimorphs, and if you're going down, because if you miss your shot, you will fall from a significant height and therefore die and have to make your way back in. As this is a very long cave, okay, I did not take damage there. I kind of expected to take damage. I did obviously open up the glider suit, or press the button to, or the key to open up the glider suit, so the animation might not have taken place, but I think I pressed it just in the nick of time. So we're going to go through this. At first, it looks like it's empty. Do not be fooled by it. Do not go in the water. I can assure you this water is full of leeches. To our right, there is a path that we can take. If you want to go down that path, there is, of course, a loot crate that you can pick up. Obviously, you will have to fight stuff for it. I'm not going to go down that way. I don't want to fight any titan boas and spiders and stuff like that. I just want the artifact. Up in front of us is the artifact, but it is guarded by a ton of bad stuff. And here we go. Also, do be mindful of your surroundings. You don't want these things getting around the shield and hitting you from the back. I mean, it won't do much of a thing, but still, I'd rather avoid it if I can. I don't really want to have any durability damage to my armor. In front of us, we have two arthropluras. Remember, arthropluras are the danger here for your dimorphs. So I might end up losing one or two here. I have not given them enough time to heal. I just went for it, so that is a real possibility. There goes one. Okay, that should be that. Let's go and pick up this artifact and then make our way back out. I'm going to show you how to get out. It is very possible that things have respawned in the cave, so we will probably have to fight our way out, but that's fine. Now, this is a bit of a tricky area because the dimorphs do tend to get stuck on that rock that we passed through on the right side, so I don't hear any flapping of wings. There we go. So they got stuck behind that rock. I'm going to try and get as many of them to follow me through this crack. It is a bit weird and derpy at times. Come on. And then we go this way. I'm going to try and stick to the left as much as possible. Okay, there's only one there. Can I get this guy? I should have probably whistled all of my dimorphs to stop, that would have helped me a lot more, but okay, there's 2 there. So that's that. I'll whistle my dimorphs to stop. This guy can stay down there. I'll go and pick them up and just throw them out. It's the quickest and easiest way of dealing with it. So there you go. There's another one right there. We'll throw that guy out there. Oops, I didn't mean to look at the inventory of that thing. And then, there we go. So I think there's another one around here. Can he get past this rock? Yeah, he can. Perfect. Artifact has respawned back in. So again, quick respawn timer on the artifact. They're all on follow. So let's make our way back out. Waiting for them to... Okay, perfect. Just want to make sure that I have as many dimorphs with me as I can. Now, as I said, I didn't give them enough time to heal. They don't have a lot of HP. I've not really invested a lot of points in HP as well. So there is a possibility I might lose some. But I don't particularly care. This is purely for the purposes of illustrating how to do this cave. So remember, we had that portion that we had to jump. We want to grapple close to it, as there is a bit of a ramp in the cliff, and we don't want to fall off that ramp. So that seems to be the best area to do it. Obviously, you want to grapple to the ceiling above the ramp. So this is the ramp that I was on about. We'll just grapple our ways up. I'm going to show you that both the climbing picks as well as the zip lines work in this place. I just prefer the grapples. So let's try and climb this way. Whoop. Okay, I didn't really time that one well. There we go. Perfect. So that's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it, of course, is if you want, you can use the zip lines. Now, of course, if you want to use zip lines here, you can do so. And what I would do is I'd probably attach a zip line, say somewhere around here, and then maybe one in that direction somewhere around there. So that way you can use a zip line to zip across. I just jump it. It's a lot easier and uses less resources. Okay, here we are again. Remember, cobwebs equals exit. We got the little thing in the center, and so kind of like from this angle, that's where we came from. That's the first one that we went down. So that's the path. This is the second path we went down. That's the first path right there. Yeah, and then we have that tree stump in the center, and behind us we've got the cobwebs. Therefore, that is the exit. So that's kind of how I remember. This is one of the areas where I just ended up going around in circles forever and ever. So that's why I'm kind of showing this off. It can be a bit confusing. So things should have respawned, I'm guessing. Do prepare yourself. Oh, there we go. There's the leeches. So shields up. Wait for them to attack me. That will aggro the dimorphs. And at this point, once your dimorphs clear out all the bad things, you will, of course, want to remove the leeches. They will attach themselves to your dimorphs. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of make sure that stuff is in front of me, nothing behind me. Sometimes it's easier said than done, but yeah. As you can see, everything that's banned has respawned. There we go. Okay, so let's have a quick look at what's going on here. Leeches, leeches, leeches. So remember to remove them. Very important. There's another one with leeches on, so I'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright, I have removed all of the leeches off the dimorphs. They should be ready to go. They still have plenty of health left. Their inventory is a bit full, so I'm just gonna go with it. I might regret it at some point, but hey ho. This is the little crouchy area that we came through. We don't really have to crouch, but yeah, I only crouched to get in. I'm gonna crouch to get out as well, actually, just to kind of get my dimorphs to follow me and maybe not get stuck into the cliff. I heard a spider. I don't know where it is. Ah, wonderful. We have some Arthropleura. Oh, 2 of them. This is not good, but hey ho. I should have probably healed my dimorphs, but whatever. There we go. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I just saw one dimorph just kind of land on the Arthropleur's face, but that's fine. There we go. Okay. Oh, there's another one there. There's some spiders. I'm just watching that spot. Okay, that's it. Don't be fooled into dropping your shield with these things. Sometimes they do derp out, but then manage to get themselves unstuck. So do not get surprised by it. There we go. We lost another. Oh, 2 more. 3 more. I mean, it's looking bad, but it's not all that bad. Like I said, I recommend leveling up your Dimorphodons before you actually come into here. Everything is of a high level. So remember that ramp that we came down? That's the way we're going up. And by my calculations, I should have at least 6 Dimorphodons remaining. By the count of what I've lost, I should technically have 7, but there is a possibility I might have left one behind, but that's fine. So I'm just gonna empty this guy's inventory because he's kind of full of stuff. So if a Dimorphodon seems to be flying slow, obviously that means you want to check their inventory. I heard a spider, but that might be a spider stuck inside one of the cave walls, which is always a thing with these caves. Okay, what's going on? So another area that they do tend to get stuck in. This guy's flying quite slow, so again, he's got too much stuff in his inventory. What about you? What are you doing? Alright, I'll clear this guy's inventory as well. You can, of course, disable harvesting on your Dimorphodons should you choose to. However, I recommend you don't do that because they don't have that much HP. There's a lot of bad stuff to fight, a lot of high-level bad stuff to fight, to be more precise. And in between groups, you want them to have some time to consume the food, therefore heal. Yes, I know it's a bit of a ball ache having to constantly empty their inventory because they don't have a lot of inventory space. But in the long run, it does keep them alive for longer. So I have switched over to grappling hooks. That's because we are very close to the exit itself. And once you're out, you want to quickly grapple your way to safety. As you saw earlier in the video, there is a Broodmother that does reside in this section. So I'm going to be cautious as I exit. Grapples at the ready. Slight jump to get rid of that over that cliff or portion. Okay, let's gamma down a tad bit. And I don't see a Broodmother. That's a good sign. As you can see, it is dark out here, so there is a bit of a lighting glitch. So I'm just going to grapple onto that right there. Pull myself up, and the Dimorphs should follow me. Now at this point, you do want to set your Dimorphs to passive, just in case there is a Broodmother there that you do aggro, which may potentially hit you. You don't want your Dimorphs fighting that because they will die really, really quick. But obviously, as there isn't one in my case, I'm okay. So I'm just going to keep reeling myself out of this cliff, and that's pretty much it for the cave and the artifact. And so that's the way I choose to do this. Now obviously this is one of many ways you can do it. I just personally find this a heck of a lot easier instead of having to farm for resources to craft ammo and losing a lot of stuff. So as you can see, it's now full on black outside. With that said, that is it for this video, folks. If you have enjoyed it, please don't forget to support me in the channel by hitting that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. If you have just subscribed, don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos and content. And if you're new to the channel, why not check out some of my other videos and guides here on this channel? Who knows, you might just enjoy them. And of course, for those interested, you can always find me on the Sethtopia Discord. Links to this you can find down below in the video's description, as well as in a pinned comment from myself. Until next time, stay safe, folks.